Hello, class of 2020. So I am supposed to give a speech, and I've really been struggling with this, to be honest. I'm not sure what the right tone to set is. I mean, I haven't been able to see your faces in the hallways and in spontaneous conversations, so I feel in many ways very disconnected from you all at this moment. I mean, from what I can see, I think people are having a really wide range of emotions and experiences. A few are totally taking this in stride and they're being productive and enjoying the time at home and spending more time with family. But there are others who are truly, truly struggling. I mean, I've seen it in my social media feed. I've seen the deaths that are being posted about that are happening in families, stuff like that. So I'm not sure if I should even try to be optimistic or if I'm going to sound like some beauty pageant, contestant spewing platitudes at you. But I'm going to try my best, and hopefully you can relate, even just a little bit. So it definitely goes without saying that the school year ending is, profoundly disappointing. There were treks and conferences that were canceled. I mean, I'm so mad about Palestine. Oh my gosh. But, beyond the loss of that and saying goodbye and these in-person experiences, we're also really worried and we're scared. And we don't have jobs and it seems really bleak. We don't even qualify for unemployment. So, it's not good. And many of us can't even go home because the borders are closed. And that's when we're most scared about our, loved ones. I really do feel bad for the international students that have had to remain here. So to serve as your student body president during this strange time, it's an immense honor. I truly mean that as well as a challenge, admittedly. But seriously, there's so many literal heroes at HKS. There's nurses, there's people who have raised civil disobedience movements, some that have gotten banned from their countries for practicing that civil disobedience. There's been honored veterans, whistleblowers, climate advocates, there's actual former elected officials, and not to mention all the amazing student activists who have spoken out for change at HKS itself. And I just find it funny that you elected me to be your student body president, so the joke's on you. But in all seriousness, though, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I do want to share a little bit what this experience has meant for me. I'm a survivor of childhood domestic violence, and previous to HKS, I found myself in kind of a similar situation as an adult and left that literally about a month before HKS started. And so the first year of student government, I ran to be the MPP class rep, in part because I was feeling I was sick of feeling disempowered and isolated. And so it's been in this role that I've really, learned to kind of grow into myself and exercise agency in ways that I've never had to before. And so truly, this has been such a gift for me. So I just want to give a special thanks to the MPPs, and in particular the betas who gave me those first 55 votes. I think you have literally changed my life. I also want to thank all the members of KSSG that worked their butts off on this wild ride that we've had. And I actually also want to thank those who have criticized our actions that we've taken as student government. I know that we've caused some controversy, but what I always appreciate is that you should be able to criticize your president. So, right on ahead. And it helped me develop a thicker skin and kind of see what it was like to cause controversy. So that was good for me in many ways. I also know that I am not alone in experiencing transformation at this school. As much as we have lost, let's not forget what we've gained. I think about back to the time when we first arrived at Cambridge and who we were then. And, since then, many of us have discovered totally new and unexpected passions. Some of you have dug deep into your identities and histories to find your voice. And I've been able to have the privilege of witnessing that beautiful transformation. I've seen you assume leadership roles in the ways that you never expected. You published groundbreaking research, student journals, PAEs, and SIPAs. You organized protests and a graduate union strike. You immediately stepped in to fundraise for support staff at HKS when, everything happened. So much labor and love has been poured into this community by you. And I also want to acknowledge that for some of you, HKS has been a disappointing experience, and the way that the year is ending just adds insult to injury. And that is totally valid. But I will say this, whether your experience at HKS was good or bad, we are all walking away with power and platform of the Harvard diploma. And so as we graduate, I truly think that the hard work has only begun. And then there's that phrase, COVID-19 has exposed underlying inequities. I realized it kind of bugs me because things aren't just being exposed. They are getting much, much worse in a very active way. Real material impacts to people's lives are happening. There's over 320,000 deaths worldwide, and surely more to come. An economy that's in disrepair. People are truly suffering. There's so much to change, so much to repair, so much healing that's going to need to happen in the wake of this crisis. And furthermore, there's going to be scapegoating along lines of nationality and race. This is definitely going to happen. And so, more than ever, we need good public leaders. And what I've learned through student government is that change is hard. It's like a series of constant uphill Sisyphean tasks to get, anything significant done. And many of you knew already that this world was filled with tragedy and poverty and injustice. It's probably what brought you here in the first place. And so, I have to remind myself that our sense of injustice, coupled with the privilege of a Harvard diploma, is powerful. I know many of us are feeling uncertain and powerless right now. But I just feel like when I look around and I see so many good people that I admire and I feel so lucky to know, if you're not going out into the world and taking this challenge head on, then who is? I'll finish on this quote by my Uber driver. It was one of those mornings where I was running extremely late to class and I had to take an Uber. And so after I vented about my stressful morning, he gave me this nugget of wisdom that I just always need to pass on. He said, "You can't get diamonds from coal without pressure." And since this is HKS, no doubt someone is objecting to this quote because of blood diamonds. And that perfectly encapsulates what I love about this place. The fact that we're spread out all over the world doesn't change the soul of our community. And I'm probably a little bit biased, but if pressure makes diamonds, then our class is going to be the shiniest, prettiest diamonds of them all, and I can't wait to see it happen. So maybe the silver lining of all of this is that because we didn't have the chance to say goodbye, and we never got the closure to close out this phase of our life, that we'll be brought together for the long term, like no other class has experienced before. We'll see. That's my theory. So, congratulations, class of 2020. Stay in touch. Do a little bit of self-care to recuperate if you can. Please go change the world.